Are you new to the medium of manga? Maybe you know someone that's trying to get into manga but has no idea where to start. Look no further than this video. What's going on, everyone? My name's Kai, aka Manga and Me, and today I'm going to be going over what I consider to be beginner manga, but I'm only going to be choosing series from my collection. Probably going to do 10, I think, with maybe a couple of honorable mentions. We'll see, but stay tuned. And yeah, let's get on with the video. Okay, so before we get started, if you enjoy the video, please leave a like to avoid disappointing Perry the Platypus and myself, obviously. Also, quick disclaimer, like I said, this is going to be the only series from my collection that I'm going to be recommending. This is my opinion, so I'll be happy to hear what you guys think are some beginner series that maybe I don't mention here, or maybe that I just don't have. So yeah, let's get on with the video. Okay, so first up we have the House Husband. This is currently at 5 volumes, I think, physically, and it's published by Viz Media in Visiting Editions. Basically, it's about this ex-Yakuza that gave up the life of being a Yakuza to become a house husband. The reason I include this on the list is because it's a comedy, so it can kind of hit the mark with a lot of people. Not only that, though, as a beginner manga, I think it's pretty what would be the word, ideal, as each chapter is its own story, so you can kind of leave off wherever, especially if you're someone like me that needs to finish your story before I put it down. Yeah, I couldn't recommend this manga enough, especially after the way Netflix handled the anime adaptation. Yeah, it just goes through his daily life of being a house husband, really. I did want to kind of make a video on this, but I think I'll just let everyone else do it. I don't really think there's much more I could say on the matter, but I really enjoyed this, and like I said, there's 5 volumes out at the moment, so as a beginner, you haven't got a lot to catch up on. Let's move on to number 9. I should have probably also mentioned that I'm going to try and make this a quicker video, and yeah, I don't want to spend too much time on every series just because it will go on for so long. But at number 9 we have Wotakoi. I spoke about this a lot on the channel. A lot of people have spoken about the series. It basically deals with an office romance between people that grew up together and basically found each other again through their work. And yeah, it's just adorable comedy, slice of life. Quite a lot of ground covered, really. I think it also might be the only Josei series that I've included on the list. So if that's going to be the kind of demographic you aim for, then definitely check out Wotakoi. I think there's 4 volumes out now. I think the 5th might just be coming out maybe next month or something. But yeah, ignore the Kodansha misprint. I hate them for that. Yeah, that's Wotakoi. Narumi, let's go. Let's get on with number 8. Okay, I kind of feel like I need to make it known that this isn't a list of what I think are like the 10 best series in my collection or anything before I show this on camera. Like I said, it's top 10 recommendations for beginner readers, and I think this fits the bill in every box, really. We have Demon Slayer. You've heard of the anime, you've probably heard about the manga not being as good or as pretty, but it just hits like all the right shonen boxes. It's basically about Tanjiro right here and his sister Nezuko. His family gets killed except for Nezuko. It gets turned into a demon, and the story basically follows Tanjiro joining the Demon Slayer Corps in a way to find a way to turn Nezuko back to a human. but it's a good shonen, and I do like the character dynamics between Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke. And obviously you have the anime, which is brilliant eye candy, so not a lot to go wrong with Demon Slayer as a beginner manga. You might start noticing some holes in it when you've, or maybe you will notice the holes in it at the start, you never know. But yeah, that's Demon Slayer at number 7. Number 8, sorry, that was my bad. Can't count, okay? On to number 7. Driving point into the number 7 spot, we have Full Metal Alchemist, which also has a box set. However, I would be lying if I said that the Full Metal editions wasn't part of the reason I would suggest this manga. This version basically contains 1.5 volumes of the original manga in each book, and Full Metal Alchemist, I feel like it's just kind of a timeless story. I don't think it'll ever age that badly, and it basically follows 2 military state alchemists who lost their mother at a young age, and it hit them very, very hard to the point where they wanted to try and use alchemy to bring her back, and it ended with Edward here losing his arm and a leg, and his brother Alphonse losing his entire body. So the series is about them trying to get their body parts back, basically. There's some really cool fight scenes, really good side cast in this. Yeah, Full Metal Alchemist and the Full Metal editions. I think we're getting to the end of these releases now. So yeah, now would be a great time to start picking them up. On to number 6. Okay, so at number 6 is something probably more targeted towards a more mature audience, but we have Grand Blue Dreaming. It's basically about it's set in college life, which is not exactly it's not first, but it's just kind of a breath of fresh air. Kind of like Word to Koi, where it's just not where these sort of things are usually set. But we follow our main character as he joins his uncle's diving club. And honestly, the art in this series, I haven't spoken about many of the series' art that we've spoken about so far, but the art in this series, especially when it comes to the diving scenes, is just insane. But yeah, Grand Blue Dreaming, really funny. One of the few series that actually physically made me laugh out loud. And yeah, I couldn't really recommend this enough. So that's Grand Blue Dreaming. On to what we're at now, top 5. Okay, so breaking into the top 5, I needed to choose something from this mangaka because anyone coming into the manga community is going to hear this name a lot, and you're going to hear mainly three stories told by the author. So I'm going to go with something different, basically. But we've got Frankenstein by Junji Ito. It is Junji Ito's retelling of Mary Shelley's monster story about the monster Frankenstein. It also has a couple of short stories at the end, but I've only read his version of Frankenstein because that story has been a part of my life for a long time, ever since I've done a play in my primary school. So yeah, Junji Ito, you're going to hear the name a lot when you come into the manga community. He's kind of the leading author on horror at the moment. And yeah, there is a reason for that. His art is insane. And yeah, Frankenstein's a great story, basically. So definitely check that one out. You're gonna hear Uzumaki, Gyo, Tomie, all that sort of stuff. My recommendation is definitely going towards Frankenstein. On to number 4. Okay, so my pick for number 4, I decided to go with something for people that are into a bit more drama heavier series. So I went with Beastars. A lot of people are going to turn their nose up at this series just because, you know, furries and whatnot. But honestly, this story is really good. Bookmarks in there because my girlfriend's reading it currently. But we basically follow Legacy, this grey wolf on the front here, as a murder has happened in the school where carnivores and herbivores both go, and obviously all eyes are on carnivores, and Legacy being one of the top of the food chain is obviously looked down upon quite a lot. Yeah, it's basically him. It deals with society drama, so just it gets pretty deep in philosophy. The art, I quite like the art. It took a while to get used to, but I did decide in the end that I do like it. But yeah, that's Beastars. I think it's just about to finish, or it has finished in Japan. But I think we're only about halfway with the UK releases. So yeah, I probably could see them doing a box set for this maybe. I'd say it probably depends on how on Netflix can get the anime to do for the rest of the series. But yeah, that's Beastars. I think there's 22 volumes. Moving on to top 3. Are you ready, people? Okay, so this next recommendation, all you would have to do is look at the channel art that I've chosen to be able to guess this, and we're going to go with Shaman King for top 3. Now, Shaman King is a story that I grew up with. The anime had one of the best dub openings ever, one of the catchiest at least. And the story, I absolutely love it. I have just over half the singles, but I am going to be collecting the 3-in-1s as well, and I will eventually do a kind of quality comparison between the two. I have seen the second one, and I don't know if I like how badly the spines clash. I kind of figured they were going to do what they're doing, but I'm just glad that there's an easier way for people to read and find out about the series again, because I feel like it's so underrated. It came out in between Naruto and Bleach, so it was kind of dead, or not exactly dead on arrival, but you get what I mean. Like, it was heavily overshadowed. But we basically follow Yo Asakura as he kind of fulfills his destiny of becoming the next Shaman King tournament winner. And his family have a long history in this. He basically has the power to see spirits and he teams up with spirits basically to fight other people in the shaman fight. And it leads to one of the best kind of brotherly feuds ever between Yo and Hao. And yeah, just the art. Hiroyuki Takai is one of my favorite mangas. Anyone that's spoken to me knows this. I praise him on this and Ultimo and Nekugahara. It's just I can never get another Shaman King. So that's why it's going to be my top 3 spot. It's definitely my vote for most underrated battle shonen. Moving on to number 2. This is going to be strange to say, but at number 2, we have One Punch Man. Now, if this was maybe top 10 shonen that I would recommend without box sets. Okay, so I was about done with the video, and then I realized that I ran out of space on my phone. All the way back here. So, number 2, One Punch Man. Basically, if you don't know about the story, the anime for the first season is pretty good, so definitely check that out. We're up to volume 22 right now. It basically follows Saitama as he becomes the One Punch Man. Literally anything that he's being serious about killing, he does it in one punch. And it basically leads to a life of him being bored. until he meets Genos and he learns about the Hero Association, where he finds out that he can get paid basically for killing villains. Honestly, I'm actually reading it more now for Garo, which is a villain later on. But the story at the moment is kind of following him. I'm on like volume 19. So I'm basically reading it for him at the moment. But Saitama is a great character. Genos is a great character. And a lot of the side characters are pretty great too. So if you like your side casts in manga, definitely check this out. And yeah, I think it's a great choice for a first manga, except the amount of tropes that it plays on may not be great for, your first choice, because you might want to like familiarize yourself with the tropes in manga before diving into this. But that's all I really have to say on One Punch Man. Let's get on to number 1 again. Okay, so I haven't really taken value for money that serious when doing these recommendations, except for this spot, because at number 1 we have the box set for Dragon Ball. Now, Dragon Ball gets clowned on, laughed at way more than it should. Those people take Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z way too seriously. But to any of you that don't know, the first Dragon Ball box set is a story on its own. Dragon Ball Z is the sequel, so you can read Dragon Ball without Dragon Ball Z. It's 16 volumes. Volume 10's not in the box set right now because it's being read. You get extras, and honestly, Dragon Ball right now for me is actually better than Z, and it's a lot cheaper. Now, if you're getting into manga, I imagine you know about Dragon Ball, whether you know about the story, whether you know about Goku or any of the other side characters. Goku is basically based off of multiple pop culture references like Superman, Sun Wukong from Journey of the West, and just that sort of mythos. And yeah, it's basically his journey growing up. And I can't recommend Dragon Ball enough. I think it hits a lot of boxes. It's not the deepest philosophical manga, but I think it does its job really great. And that's why I'm putting it at the top of the list. Box sets are great value whilst still supporting the industry. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on Dragon Ball. Thank you for checking out this list. Let's get to the outro bookcase. Please don't be full of storage again. Okay, so outro bookcase. I feel like I haven't done that in ages. Whoops. Thank you for checking out this video. Again, my personal opinion of a list. Feel free to let me know down below what manga you would recommend to a beginner. I haven't been feeling great today, so I'm sorry if that came across in the video. I've tried my best not to let it, but there may have been a few slip in the cracks here and there. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed. We're so close to 100 subs before my birthday. I think at the time of recording this, we're actually at 99. So subscribe if you want to see more content. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Let me know down below what manga you'd recommend to new readers. And yeah, I will hopefully see you guys in the next one. Peace. Also, don't forget to check out links down below in the description. Thank you. Peace.